Hello, and thank you for joining me today. I'm going to provide for you a training tutorial on how to set up and create your own Kahoot quiz so that you may implement it in your classrooms with your students. The first thing we're going to do is you're going to go into Kahoot.com, as you can see up here at the top. Once you get in Kahoot, it's going to come up and it's going to say sign up, and it's free, as you can see. We're going to click on sign up for free. Then it's going to come up and ask you, why do you want to use Kahoot? Me, I'm a teacher, so I'm going to click on as a teacher. And when I sign up for it, I'm going to sign up using my Google. Since I already have a Google email, I'm just going to put sign up with Google. It's going to come up and it's going to ask me my workplace, my details. So I'm going to put my school because that's where I'm going to use it. And then it's going to ask me for a username. Now you may choose any username that you would like. It's up to your discretion. But you must click on I have read and agree with Kahoot the terms and conditions. And then we're going to hit join Kahoot. Next is going to come up with the plans that you can use. You can use basic, you can get a pro, or you can get a premium. As you can see, what I like about Kahoot is that it's not expensive. You have free, you have $3, and you have $6. But I think the best thing to do from the start is just go ahead and go with the free so that you can see it, learn how to use it, and if you need to upgrade after that, then you can do it. After I've already created me an account, as you can see here, it says get started, steps 1, 2, and 3. I've already done step 1, which is created my account. And now it's time for me to create a Kahoot quiz. There's actually 3 different options I could use to create a Kahoot quiz. I can go into My Kahoots, which is right here at the top. I could click on create a Kahoot here, or I could create right here. Doesn't matter which one I use, but I'm going to click on this one, step 2, and it's going to come up and say create a new Kahoot. As you can see, I have circles around this crown with the circle around it, because these you would have to actually upgrade in order to use them. But the other ones are available on the free account. So I'm going to click create, and it's going to come up and it's going to show you a template like this. At the top, you see here it has the title, so you type in your title here. You type in your question here. This is the time. You can set your time for how long you want your students to have to answer the question. It ranges anywhere from 5 to 120 seconds, I believe. Here you can add an image if you'd like. I know it says image library, but you have to actually upgrade in order to get that. But you can upload an image from your computer, and you can also upload a YouTube link if you'd like. Here you'd set your points for the top person that got them, that gets the answer correct, then they would get 1,000 points. And here are your answer options. As you can see, there's 4 different options here, but you only have to use 2. As you can see, answer 3 and 4 are optional. So it would come up and it would be optional, but you have to at least put 2 answers in. Here you have your question bank. And this is a very good for a skill that you want to use. If you can't think of a question or can't think of what you want to put in, you click on that button there, and it would allow you to go in and you can search for questions on the topic that you're using, which is a very good option there. And here it says add your question. So once you've typed your question in, you have your answer, you put an image in if you'd like, you have your time set and your point set, Then you would just click and you would add another question to it. Give you an example. This is one that I did. As you can see, my title up here, I typed in adding decimals. I put my question here. This is the image I uploaded. I want to give my students 20 seconds. And yes, they get 1,000 points if they get it correct. As you can see here, I have my 4 different options. And I have the one that is correct. I have it checked. So this question is done. If I wasn't finished and I wanted to add more questions, I could hit exit and it would save it into my drafts. But since I'm done, I'm going to hit done here. That lets them know that I'm done and it's going to save it in my Kahoots. And here we are. It takes me back to my Kahoots page. Here, as you can see, this is my drafts. This is where we'll save it if you're not completed, if you haven't completed it. Here, it has organized folders. You can actually create folders, and if you want to put your skills in a certain folder, then you can do that here. Now, let's get ready to start playing. Here, we have 2 options. You have play, which you can see this is you compete as a class, or you have challenge. And the challenge is the students can do it at their own pace. Once you click on challenge, it's going to come up and it's going to give you where you can set a date and a time that you want it completed by. And you just let your students know. Once they get on, they'll see it in their to-dos and it'll come up and they'll have till that date and time that you set in order to complete it. But I like to do play because I like my class to compete as a whole. That way I can give them all feedback at the same time. I'm going to click play here. And then you have 2 different options for playing. You can do the classic, which is each person competing against each other, or you can do team mode. I don't recommend team mode. Well, not for my class anyway, because we get in like power struggles because you can only use one computer. And you have everybody want to argue, well, I'm going to use my computer and I'm going to use my computer. No, I just make it so that everybody uses their own computer. As you can see here, we have game options. If you click on game options, it's going to give you options that you can use within your game. And here they are. The ones that I like to use and don't like to use. I like to use the friendly nickname generator. This is so you don't get any inappropriate names or inappropriate things that will pop up on the screen. It'll automatically generate the nicknames for you. And this is one that I don't like to use, to automatically move through your questions. Because if it automatically moves through the questions, then you don't have time to give them feedback. You don't have time to tell them, okay, this is why we got this answer. So I don't do the automatic feedback. I don't do the automatic move through. Let's go on through. Click play. Here it comes. Classic mode, one by one. It tells them at the top, join at www.kahoot.it. Once they put that in and hit enter, it's going to come up and it's going to ask for a game pin. They're going to put in their game pin, which you see right here. There's other options on this page too. You can make it full screen if you'd like, and it automatically generates music. You can even mute the music if you'd like by just turning this off. This shows you how many players are actually in. And here it is ready to start. I'm just going to pretend that my players are already in and I'm just going to click start. And this is my first question. The question is going to come up. And here's my question. Here's my image. Here's my time. This shows me how many answers, how many people I've already had to answer. And here are my options. Now, on the student's computer, they won't see all of this. The only thing they will see is a red triangle, a blue diamond, a gold circle, and a green square. That's why they have to look at your screen in order to see the question. Here, you have skip in case there's a question that comes up that you hadn't really gone over and you really don't want your kids to answer it, you can just skip it. And another thing I really like down here at the bottom, you see circle here, is your game pin. This is also in your game options where you can allow your pin to be shown just in case a student gets kicked out or for some odd reason they are pushed out of the game for some reason, they can always log back in. After the question is answered, it's going to come up and show a screen like this. Still, your question's up here at the top. It's going to show you the correct answer, and it's going to show you how many students got the answer correct. You click next. You also have an end game on each answer screen. So that if you just want to end the game because maybe you have to go to lunch and you didn't realize that it was time, you can just hit end your game and it'll end the game for you. We're going to go to next. Next, this is your screen at the end that shows you your top winner. You have a second place winner and a third place winner. And it also allows you to give feedback to your students within their computer. I hope this has been very informative for you. I hope now that you know how to create a Kahoot. I thank you for joining me. Enjoy the rest of the workshop. Thank you.